What is going on YouTube? Dad with a bike. And in today's video, we're just going to go out for a quick little ride because I wanted to talk with you all about Harley Davidson's new motorcycle coming out this year, here in 2021, the Harley Davidson Pan America. And this is Harley Davidson's attempt at throwing their hat in the ring for adventure bikes, and it should be an interesting motorcycle to say the least. So we're going to talk through that in this video, and if you're interested, stick around. I've got some specs and some other things on it, so it'd be good to share, get everybody's feedback. So we'll be back in just a second. Alright everybody, welcome back. And before we jump into the video, I'm going to get some administrative things out of the way. If you have stumbled across my channel because you either like the title or YouTube algorithm brought you my way, I appreciate you stopping by. And if you would do me a solid, help me grow this channel and do that whole subscribe, like, notify things, and you'll get notified the next time I upload a video. I do these suckers once a week, sometimes a little more, depends on how frosty I'm feeling. But yeah, help me grow my channel. Also, if you are like me and you like to modify your motorcycle, do me a favor, slide on over to Dean Speed and check out what they've got for Harley Davidson, Yamaha bolts, Indian motorcycles. That group does good custom work, and if you use my coupon code Dad with a Bike, they'll give you 10% off. So go check them out. Alright y'all, so let's have a conversation about good old Harley Davidson and this Pan America they're throwing into the market this year. I think it's going to be available like in the spring or something. I don't know when it's going to be available. But you know, they did throw it, they've been talking about it now for like a little over a year and some change. And you've seen some probably videos and promotional stuff pop out where Jason Momoa is out riding it. Harley Davidson's really pushing it pretty hard. They've got this partnership with Jason Momoa, I guess, trying to pull in the younger, more hurly-burly crowd. But you know, I think, you know, in all honesty, I think really what it is, it's a stretch for Harley Davidson to try and find their way again. So we're going to talk this video, we're going to actually break it down to a couple of sections. We're going to do one, we're going to take a current snapshot, and we're going to talk a bit about Harley Davidson as the company right now. And of course, you know, the elephant in the room is their biggest competitor, which is Indian. And we'll break down kind of, you know, some things that have happened with that company over the past couple of years, and then we'll actually get into the Pan America bike. We'll talk a little bit about the specs, what I think about it, and you know, why I'm excited about it. And then I'm going to throw a question out there that asks y'all, will Indian answer? So let's dive on into this, shall we? So, for the past several years, Harley Davidson as a motorcycle company, as a brand, has been struggling. You know, they've had lots of turmoil in the company. They can't really seem to decide on what their branding is. And you know, when you look at the stock of the company, it hasn't really done very well over the past few years. It's been kind of almost a steady decline, especially when you compare it to Indian Motorcycles and their parent company Polaris. So when you do a side-by-side comparison of the two stocks over the past 5 years, which I'll throw a little picture up right here, it really does kind of tell the story of, you know, what's happening to this company, or what has been happening to this company over the past few years. They seem to be losing their way. So they kicked their old CEO out, brought in a new CEO, And the new CEO has already started taking an axe to some of the things that the old CEO has done. And, you know, you're going to see in 2021, you're going to see the lineup for motorcycles that they push out are going to become more limited. You know, it's probably going to be a bit of a slimmer lineup. And you'd have thought that they were going to go stick to the roots. They were going to go back to what they were good at, that good old American, you know, air-cooled V-twin. But it's not what they're doing. And shockingly enough, they're throwing their hat in the ring in a already extremely competitive market with adventure motorcycling. So these ADV bikes. So they're going to release this Pan America, which we'll get into the specifications of the Pan America here in just a second. But they're going to release this bike, and it's going to immediately go head to head with things like with bikes like the Triumph Tiger and you know, Duke's line of ADV bikes, and you know, the list kind of goes on and on. And I don't know that it's wise, but you know, I'm not a CEO. I'm just a motorcycle enthusiast. I can just tell you, it seems weird to me. But anyway, they're going to do it, and it's coming. Now, personally, I'm a little bit excited about it because, you know, I've been thinking, what am I going to move to once I get rid of this this bobber? You know, I don't want to go back to sport bikes. I don't want to go to a sport touring. But I do want to go you know, a more touring style, you know, model of motorcycles. And I've been really eyeballing adventure bikes, adventure touring, that kind of thing. So, you know, an American motorcycle company throwing their name in the hat for adventure bikes kind of has me excited. So we'll see what actually comes of it, and can they really compete with the likes of, you know, Tiger and what Yamaha's doing these days and what Duke has and so on. We'll see. It'll be interesting. But specification wise, they sure are swinging for the fences. So the Pan America bike looks like this. I'll throw a picture of it up, and immediately it's got this kind of muscular look. It's got big beefy shocks and Brembo brakes all around, you know. So from the skeletal structure, they're kind of throwing the kitchen sink at trying to make this bike competitive in the adventure market. And then you look at the power plant of this thing, which is this Harley Davidson Revolutionary or Revolution Max. I don't know the name of it. I'm going to list like all the specs in the video here in a little while, so that I'm not incorrect. But that's kind of a badass engine. It is a V-twin. It is liquid cooled. So thank you, Harley, for a liquid cooled engine. It is liquid cooled, and it puts out 145 horsepower and 90 foot-pound torque in a 1250 cc displacement. So that's a pretty hefty engine. That's a pretty substantial amount of power that they're putting there for an adventure bike, and it compares almost with, or right at, what like the Tiger 1200 does. They're darn near similar specifications. Now, pricing wise, you know, you'd figure that Harley's going to stick to their guns and come out and price the bike at an obnoxious level, because that's what Harley likes to do with, you know, anything other than you know, the Sportster line. They like to come in and just be as expensive as possible, it seems. They're not. From the research that I did, what I could tell is it's going to come in right about $19,000. So it is already cheaper than the Triumph Tiger 1200. So you know, they're producing this bike, they're throwing it in with the adventure market. They've got specs that are comparable, if not even a little better, than those that are already out there, and they're coming in at a lower price point than their competitors. So all of the things like you would want to do when you bring a product to market, they seem to kind of be doing. You know, the downside is it's not what Harley Davidson is known for, and it's not what they're good at. So is it gonna land and be a flop because it'll be a lemon? Time will tell. But you know, regardless, I won't say that I'm excited. I know I said I was excited before. My interest is piqued. So my interest is piqued. So that being said, I will try and be as early in test riding that sucker as humanly possible, because I really do want to see what it's going to be like. Now the next question that pops into my head with Harley Davidson throwing their name in the hat for, or throwing their hat in the ring for adventure bikes, is will Indian do it? Is Indian going to take a hot minute and build an adventure bike? In my opinion, they won't. I think what Indian is going to do is they're going to sit back and say, all right, well, good luck, Harley. And we'll sit back here and we'll own this V-twin cruiser market in America and let you guys fall flat on your face with an attempt on adventure bikes. Or they could take the FTR platform, which they introduced, you know, a couple years ago. The FTR got introduced. They brought that flat track racing concept to the street, and it exploded. Everybody loves that FTR. So it's highly feasible that Indian could say, you know, we're already there, or, you know, we're 3/4 of the way there. Let's just go ahead and finish it, and maybe they'll do an FTR adventure. Wouldn't that be cool? They take the FTR, put a bit more beefy suspension on it, you know, give it a front fairing, and throw some hard cases on it, and Bob's your uncle. You've got a adventure bike. We'll see what they'll do on that. I know some of you might think or might say, well, you know, the Rally is kind of an off-road bike. No, it's not. When you look at the true specifications of the Rally, if you take that thing off-road and you go thrashing it around, you are no longer going to have the FTR Rally. You're going to have a pile of crap that is going to require a lot of fixing. There's a lot of things that go into an adventure bike that just isn't in that FTR. Now, doesn't mean that they can't. I mean, they're pretty darn close to it. It just means that, you know, it's some work they would have to go do. So it's possible Indian could bring forward, do a little bit of FTR adventure action and throw their hat in the ring. It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know, we'll see. But I'm actually very interested in what your all's thoughts are on this. So, you know, do me a solid, comment below. Let me know what you think of the Pan America. Let me know what you think about the specifications. Do you think Harley is making a huge mistake by, you know, stepping out of their norm and going after a market they've got zero experience in? And moreover, do you think that Indian is going to answer with their own ADV version and, you know, maintain a line-by-line competitive nature with Harley Davidson? Let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. So anyway, if y'all like this video, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, like, notify thing. And I want you all to be safe, be super duper kind to one another. Let's make 2021 suck a whole lot less than 2020. And last but not least, y'all ride safe. Peace.